short segment with Chris Kay, the president and CEO of the New York Racing Association, because it is a busy morning. You've got to get over to the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning. How are you,
Good
Rodger?
to see you.
How are you?
Morning, Chris.
Missed you last week. We did.
We did. We always.
There was somebody in your place, and let's just say he wasn't buying beers for anybody.
No.
It was, I mean.
A little different, right?
It was.
A little different. So let's talk Hall of Fame here. First of all, interesting class going in.
It is. And of course, Javier Castellano is going in to the Hall of Fame, and he's riding a horse that, if you like betting on names, what can you say about the Big Handsome? And he's also got a good track record. So whether you're looking at his performance, he did well at Belmont, or the name, and you got Javier riding him on the day Javier gets inducted, you got to love it.
Yeah, it's going to be a great morning. And, of course, Chris Ashley Miller is covering for us this morning, so we'll have a lot of coverage on News Channel 13 live at 6 and 11. And then you segue right into Whitney weekend. The best of the older horses.
We do. And, a lot of people are gunning for Gunrunner. I think he's a great horse, but I must tell you, I've seen Keen Ice run on a couple of occasions, and wow. He is quite the closer, including this year in the Suburban, where he beat Arrogate. And, of course, he
we know what
established, the reputation of the Graveyard of Champions here, beating American Pharoah. So those are two great horses. But, last weekend we were talking about two great horses, Cloud Computing and Always Dreaming, and bam, out of nowhere comes Good Samaritan. Same thing could happen with this race.
Yeah, last weekend with the Jim Dandy, Chris, certainly cloudy, though a little bit cloudy on what we're going to be seeing at the Travers. Not exactly sure now with what happened in the Jim Dandy.
Well,
and at the Haskell.
You're right. Here's what we do know. Tickets are going like crazy. People are offering in the secondary market for our good tickets $400 and $500 a pop. We still have some tickets left, but not many. And this is going to be an incredible Travers.
What are you doing for Travers? Is there a cutoff again?
Yes, 50,000.
You think you'll get to that number?
I suspect we will. I think last year we had 48.9 or something like that. And I think the idea is this. We want to make sure that everybody has a great time while they're here. And not only when they're here, but as they leave. We've only got two major arteries off the track, and so to have more than 50,000 people could be problematic.
You went to the metal detectors last weekend. What is give me the game plan there. Will we see more of that on the major stakes weekends?
We will. The magnetometers are things you'll see at Yankee Stadium, at Fenway Park. We have it for our big events. And the reason is simple. We live in more dangerous times. We want to make sure that we're protecting our guests to the extent we can. We want to be what they call a hard target. And this is one way to do so.
When we were here, Ashley Miller was here the weekend of the morning of the Dandy, I should say. And I think while the metal detectors may have come as a surprise to some of the patrons, it really didn't slow down the process of getting in. And that's from one of our people, Ashley, telling us people were still flowing through pretty quickly. Look, there are long lines to get into this place on a big day, on any day. It didn't seem to slow down the process at all. Did you get any feedback from people like where they felt maybe their minds were a little more at ease having gone through that process?
Exactly. So we do have state-of-the-art magnetometers, so you can go through quickly. I mean, they really are pretty sharp. We used them last year on occasion, and we used them for the Belmont Stakes. And people are appreciative that we are taking their safety and security as a priority of ours.
The flip side of that is, I think, the disappointment of people who have been coming to Saratoga Racecourse for so many years. There's this feeling of nostalgia when you come to these grounds, and then you see these at the gate, and you kind of have to – it's a reality check. Is it not that it's just not the same?
It is a reality check, but once you get past them, it is the same, right? So it's kind of like, you get sticker shock when you go to a movie. You have to pay $15 for a movie, but then when you sit in the seat, you're enthralled by the movie. Once you get past those magnetometers, it's all Saratoga and everything great about it.
Did it hurt your handle at all?
What's that?
People getting in here, not getting a chance to bet right away, or a little bit late or not?
No, that's a great point. Most people know to come early. And so,
Raj, most people have the XP app.
Exactly. That's where I was going next.
I know you were. I know you were.
And so,
why did you have to do that?
Well, I
thought I might get through this interview unscathed.
No.
By Chris K.
No. Here, I'll make it easy for you. If you haven't downloaded the app, we have an upgrade coming next week.
Okay.
So I know that you'd find it hard to download the app and then upgrade it a few days later. So
just wait until
Wednesday next week.
And
it gives you 48 hours before I descend upon you again.
By the end of the meet, I'm gonna be locked.
But if you were, for example, in line and you were not able to see the first race in person, you can watch it on your phone by downloading the app and then going to NYRA Now and watching the race.
Chris K with us, President CEO. Where do we stand on attendance handle so far here, third Friday of the meet?
The handle is up. Both the on-track handle and overall handle is up compared to last year. And last year we were at a record rate until we had that 4-star day Saturday. So to be up 4.5%, for example, is great. And we're very pleased with that. And we owe it all to the people who are downloading the app.
I'm going to contribute. Don't worry. I will. I promise.
Chris, when we're talking about Keen Ice, you said Graveyard of Champions, and I'm so glad you did because I go with Graveyard of Champions as well, and I'll catch flack from people either watching News Channel 13 or listening to this radio program because to me, there are favorites in every race, and I know there's this divide. Is it Graveyard of Favorites, Graveyard of Champions? Why did you here this morning side with Graveyard of Champions as opposed to favorites?
Well, for those of you that are listening on radio, you didn't see the folks across the table mouthing the words, use champions. No, I'm teasing. It is the Graveyard of Champions. And let's face it, one of the most exciting moments of my life happened a few months earlier from the Travers, and that was the 2015 Belmont Stakes, where that was an incredible performance by American Pharoah, and then the noise. We were just inundated with wave after wave of adulation for about 10 minutes. It's a moment I'll never forget. American Pharoah was a true champion. Keen Ice almost got him in the Belmont and did get him in the Travers, which is why I like Keen Ice. But then again, I wasn't hired because I'm a good prognosticator. Andy Serling does all the handicapping for us.
How well attended will the ceremonies be this morning?
I think it'll be well attended. You know, one of the special moments for me is going to be the moment we honor Denny Phipps, a great man. And I was so pleased we were able to induct him into the Saratoga Walk of Fame earlier while he was still with us. You know, Denny is a man of few words. And so as we planned the event, we had it in between two races, and we had Denny and Mary Lou Whitney all being inducted at the same time. We figured that Denny would talk for about 25 seconds, which is what he does normally at the Jockey Club meetings. He spoke for 7.5 minutes. Wow. He was touched, and we were touched. Great man, and I'm glad he's being honored today.
Speaking of being honored, and well, I know you to get going here, but I thought it was a nice touch with the Whitney draw this week at Sperry's with Mary Lou being able to be in attendance. That was almost she upstaged everybody on that one.
She did. It was a magical moment, you know, and she's got the pills in her hand. It was fantastic. And, you know, you get a chance to talk to Mary Lou, and she is as sharp as ever. What they do for this community in terms of, you know, I mentioned at the draw, this is the 10th anniversary of their efforts for the backstretch workers, where they provide a delicious warm meal every night. And on some nights, along with the meal, you get movies or entertainment. Some nights they have games with prizes. Some nights they educate the backstretch workers with computer skills or with learning how to read, write, and speak English better. They've just got incredibly large hearts, and everybody in this industry and in this community are beneficiaries.
God willing, what, 91?
91.
91 and a half.
Incredible.
Yeah.
When you celebrate Christmas, remember Mary Lou. Her birthday is December 24th.
Wow, interesting. Hey, Chris, thanks so much.
Thank you.
We're trying to get a busy day. Thanks for coming
Chris.
by.
Great to see you.